I can't let nothing get in my way. I know you hear me when I pray. I know that I'm not perfect, yeah, I make mistakes. I need you to be there for me every step of the way, yeah, cause there's a blessing with my name on it. Hey, you know that I need it, Lord. Show me how to get it, Lord. I'm barely eating, Lord. Trying to feed my people, Lord, yeah, cause there's a blessing with my name on it. Ooh, hey, you know I receive it, yeah, I believe it, yeah. This year will be my year. I claim, hey, yeah, I claim. Oh, yeah, yeah. This year will be my year. I claim it, yeah. I claim it. This year will be my year. I've been putting work in, yeah. Tryna make my dreams come true. I know I get impatient. My family and my babies, they waiting on me to come through. Pressure on every level. Issues, I got several. Trying not to settle. I wanna be successful.
Come on in, because it's Tuesday. Yes, the rain is coming down, baby, but we are here in the place. Welcome to the Empowered Morning Show. We're super excited to see you here, so come on in. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Ladies, how are you?
Good
On
morning.
rainy, snowy Tuesday.
What you talking about? I'm telling you, honey, here in the ATL, I think they've let out most of the schools in anticipation of bad weather. But guess what doesn't stop us? As long as internet connection is strong, we are here bringing you some power for your morning. So whether you're out and about, whether you're laying in your bed, I need you to tag somebody. Matter of fact, tag 4 for 2024 and let them know to come on in and check out the Empowered Morning Show. We appreciate the ones who are faithful that come on in here each and every time. Please shout out where you're from. If you are out looking out your window and you see snow, let us know, because we may be seeing that in Georgia later. I don't know. Either way, we're going to enjoy this day. We are going to put some power back in it and be productive, because if y'all don't remember, last week we talked about SMART goals. And Terry, I really kind of did a little research to see, like, why do they really talk about SMART goals? And it says that, number one, that method increases motivation. It helps push you further. It gives you a sense of direction, and it helps you organize and reach your goals. So if y'all don't realize it, 2024, y'all know a lot of people have the New Year's resolutions and all these things. But at the end of the day, when you put some goals behind what you want to do, that's when you see things start to happen. That's when you can accomplish something. When you just out there saying, girl, I just want to lose some weight, you ain't said nothing. You said it, but that doesn't give you any reason to go for it, because you haven't put anything out there to measure it. You know, you haven't given it a time frame. So you can say lose weight, girl, what you gonna be, 85, and then be like, oh, okay, girl, I'm still working on losing weight. We're not doing that. 2024, we're doing SMART goals. So before Terry comes on with it, because it's talk about it Tuesday with Terry, let's get this commercial break, and then I'm gonna let her jump in, because baby, we need this thing. You hear me?
What's up, family? It's your girl, Terry White Hicks, and I am here to invite you to join me every Tuesday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Midday Miracles and Manna, right here on We Empower Network.
Yes. So y'all make sure y'all tune in today at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because we're doing Midday Miracles and Manna. So make sure y'all tune in right here on We Empower Network. So it's not hard to find. Right where you're watching right now, you can watch again at 12 p.m.
Yes.
So, y'all, last week, like Angela said, we talked about SMART goals, and I love that you said when you don't make them SMART. I love the acronym. I love that it's spelled SMART, because when you don't make a SMART decision, when you don't make SMART choices, when you don't make SMART goals, you really are just thinking of something you want to do when you're wishing, because you don't really have any practical application in order to try to make it happen. And so that's what ends up happening with a lot of people. The people who say, oh, I want to lose weight, and then they do end up being 85, or oh, I want to start a business, or I want to write a book, or I want to do this, and next thing you know, they're 85, or they've gone on to be with Jesus, and they never accomplished what they set out to do because it was something they were just saying. It was a wish, it was a thought, it was an idea, but they never put the steps to it to make it happen. And so, one of the reasons I love SMART goals, and one of the reasons I teach this to my students, even though it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with our content, I think everyone can use the concept of SMART goals to achieve what they want to do. So I have my students at the beginning of every year. What do you want to achieve this school year? Let's talk about that, and we map it out as SMART goals, because I understand that if you don't put something to it, you might not achieve it. If you say, "Oh, you know what? I want to lose 10 pounds," but you never say when or how, or what you're going to do to really hold yourself accountable, you can be 5 years from now still trying to lose those same 10 pounds. And now you've gained 30 trying to lose the 10 because you didn't really put anything in place. So last week, we're just going to do a little review, y'all, because I promised you a part 2 to last week. But I do want to do a review just in case you're brand new to the show. If you are, welcome. But I want to do a review of what we discussed last week so we can go into this week. So we talked about SMART goals. If you know what SMART goals are, y'all go ahead and put them in the chat. If you were here with us last week, this is a little pop quiz for you. And so the SMART, S-M-A-R-T, the S in SMART stands for specific. We want a goal that is specific, not a broad goal like I want to lose weight. Because how much weight do you want to lose? Because if you've lost 1 pound, you could theoretically say you met your goal. So specific means I want to lose 10 pounds or I want to lose 30 pounds. You want to put a specification to your goal instead of it being a general goal. I want to do something great one day. Well, honey, that could be anything. You may say, oh, I want to write a book, or I want to start a business, or I want to start an organization that helps to feed the homeless. Like, you have to be specific, because otherwise, when distractions come along, you don't really have anything to keep you focused because you don't really know what you're doing. You just kind of, hanging out with your goals. Okay. The M in SMART stands for measurable. So not only do you want it to be specific, not broad, not general, but you also want it to be measurable. Make it something that you can kind of check off of a list. So instead of saying, I want to lose weight, you can say, I want to lose 10 pounds. Now, how can you measure that? Well, you can measure that by, getting on a scale. You can measure that by checking your inches. You can measure that by measuring your energy, how much more energy you have, how much more healthy you feel. You can measure your heart rate and things like that. Also, with the pounds, you might say, I want to lose 10 pounds. And so if you say, okay, I want to lose, a pound a week. Now you can check that off the list. Okay, this week I lost a pound, because it's something you can physically check off of a list. You can go back and look at it and say, okay, I did that. I accomplished that. And it helps you to stay on track with your goals. So any goal you set, you want to break it down to bite-sized pieces so that it's measurable, so that you can check little by little, I've done that thing in order to reach the bigger goal. So for instance, if it's a book you want to write, you may say, I want to write a book with 12 chapters. So once you finish chapter 1, I can check that off the list, because I'm working towards 12. So if I've done 1, I have 11 left. So that's, a way that you can measure goals. It's something that you can physically check off of a list. The A in SMART stands for attainable or achievable. You want to make sure it's something you can actually do, something that's really attainable. I joked last week, but it really is the truth. You don't want to say something like, I want to, go to the moon. That's not really an attainable goal. I mean, it might be if you have $1 billion to, travel with Elon Musk on his private spaceship or something. But outside of that, it's highly unlikely that you're going to be able to get to the moon anytime soon. So there's not necessarily an attainable goal. Attainable means this is something I can actually do. It's something within my reach. You can't really say, I'm going to do a bike ride around the world in 30 days. That's not physically possible. You understand what I'm saying? So you want to do something, and that's really what happens with people, and where you kind of lose your I guess stamina or excitement, enthusiasm, and motivation, because you set yourself up for something that wasn't attainable in the first place. Like, I'm going to lose 30 pounds in 1 week. you might want to go to the hospital after losing those 30 pounds. So you want to do something that's actually attainable, something that you really can achieve, and it makes sense for you. And I'm going to talk about that in a second when I get to the R. But attainable, achievable, something that makes sense for you that you can realistically do. And speaking of realistic, that is the R in SMART. Realistic or relevant, something that makes sense for you. And I was thinking about this, the other day, that when we talk about a relevant goal, it's kind of weird because in today's world where everything is very social media driven, that it's very easy to play the comparison game. And so a lot of times I find that we base our goals or the things we want to achieve off of what somebody else is doing. And so you kind of set yourself up for failure when you do that, because you don't, all you're seeing is kind of their end result by the time they post it on Instagram or by the time they make a reel about it. You're seeing their end result. You're not really seeing the process. And so you don't know what their process was. You don't know what it took for them to do it. And so you're now creating a goal based on what you think they did, but it's not really relevant to you. And so we end up creating these goals based on what somebody else has done versus what we really want to accomplish, what we really want to achieve. And when we first started talking about this, the very first thing I said was you have to pray and ask God, what is the vision for your life? What is it he wants you to do? If it's not in his will for you to be a pastor, but you're spinning your wheels trying to start a church and you can't figure out why that thing just won't get off the ground, perhaps because it's not for you. That's not a relevant goal. It's not something that God has assigned for you. So a lot of times we spin our wheels trying to do something that's not even for us. And so you want to make sure that it's relevant to you. Just because, Jimmy John and Sue Smith did it doesn't mean that it's for you to do. It might be, but it might not be. And you have to really check your heart and check your motivation when you're setting up these goals, because it may not be for you. You want to make sure it's relevant to you, something that it's for you, and also something that's realistic. Again, we're not trying to go to the moon if we really can't. We're not trying to, run a marathon just yet if you get winded walking to the mailbox. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe that's something you can work towards, but you can't say, oh, I'm about to run this marathon next week, and you haven't run in the last 5 years. Like, I mean, am I wrong, Regina? Like, that's not realistic. Like, baby, you're going to need a medical team on the side of you while you're doing that. So you
Baby,
want
some
to be
instant oxygen, baby.
right. You need a whole oxygen tank while you trying to run this marathon, because in your mind, Shamika did it, so I'm gonna try to do it too. Because I see Shamika, my girl Shamika's over there running her marathon, but
Baby,
Shamika
we
runs a
gotta go on
marathon
by the
every
fifth.
month. Shamika goes running every
Right.
morning. Shamika runs
Right.
5 miles every night. You have a hard time just going to the mailbox. You don't want to run a marathon. You want to take your time and work your way up to that. That's what we mean by something that's realistic and something that's relevant to you. The T in SMART stands for timely. You want to put a time to it, because again, if your goal is I want to lose weight, if you never really put a timetable on it, you can't really measure when you've achieved that goal. But if you say I want to lose X amount of pounds by May 30th, okay, now you've put a time limit to it and you can really track what you're doing. If you say, oh, I want to write a book and I want to write the book and have it finished and published by December 31st, 2024, now that's something that you can actually track versus just saying, I want to write a book. Because now 5 years from now, if you haven't written a book, you haven't achieved your goal, but I mean, you never really put a time to it. So you can always say, I'm still working on it, which is what happens, right? You ask people 10 years ago, oh, I'm still working on it. I'm still working on it. Now, how's that business going? I'm still working on it. How's it such a I'm still working on it, because you never put a time to it. And that's what happens when people set these resolutions at the beginning of the year. Oh, I'm going to do this, and this. And then by the time Valentine's Day rolls around, the whole thing is gone out the window because they really didn't put a time to it. So there's really nothing to work towards. So really, SMART goals just help to keep you accountable. They help you to track what you're doing, and they help you to really, really keep that vision in front of you. You know, this is the vision that I'm working towards, and these are the goals that's going to help me to get there. And then what I do in each of those SMART goals are the plans that's going to help me achieve each goal. And so last week we started with everyone going through talking about what one thing they wanted to accomplish, one SMART goal that they had, so that you all could see in real time us setting up our goals, so that you can hopefully take those as examples and use them in your own life. And I don't know, the folks last week found it very, very helpful. So hopefully you will too. And so I know that I did mine, and I know that Dior did hers. So we have Regina and Angela left, who can walk through what their goals were, and really how you can make sure they're SMART goals, how you can make sure they are specific, measurable, attainable, achievable, realistic, relevant, and timely. And I know that sounds like a whole bunch, y'all, but that's why you sit down and you just do one goal at a time, because otherwise it can be overwhelming to you. And I'm not saying work on one goal at a time. I'm just saying when you work through this process, you want to just think of one goal at a time. Like, for instance, my goal was I recently moved. And because of the way my schedule has been set up and just all the things I've had going on, I haven't really had the time to unpack. And so my goal was to have all of my boxes unpacked and everything unpacked, by the springtime. And so and I think I said like April 1st, whatever my time was. So that's an example of a goal that is specific and it's measurable, and it is something that I can actually do if I put a plan together to unpack the boxes, here and there. It's something that I can achieve by that deadline. And then it's realistic and it's relevant to me. I'm not out here trying to run a marathon. I'm doing something that makes sense for me. And it's timely. I put a time to it. I didn't just say, I want to unpack the boxes, because your girl, being honest, these boxes will still be sitting here 3 years from now if I did not put a time to it. I said, you know what? By April 1st, these boxes got to be out of here. And they will be, because I'm now tracking and I'm measuring what I'm doing. So that's just an example. I just walked through mine again real quick for everybody. So Angela, Regina, whoever wants to go, you guys can jump in, talk about your goal.
Go ahead, Regina. I'm trying to think, what did I say last week?
You know what? I don't know from verbatim what I said, but what I do know for 2024 for me is no excuses on anything in my life. I would put excuses in my head of why I couldn't do it right now, why it wasn't the time for me right now, and how was I going to be able to ever know what the time was if I never did it. And so my year, honestly, for 2024 is no excuses. My goals, I have a lot of goals. And I plan on prioritizing my goals so I can achieve all my goals that I have in this brain. If the Most High allows it and wills it, because I can have the idea and all I want. But if it's not willed, then it's just not, willed, and I'm okay with that. But in the meantime, I will be working towards it. That means whatever, from the greatest to the least, I will be working towards it. And being intentional, not procrastinating. Okay. So those are the things that I'm working on as of right now. You know what? I believe things can be achievable if you're working towards it. If you're not working towards it, like, it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. We can sit and talk all day long. And you know what? Talk is talk. And you will be sitting, talking, standing, talking like you've been doing. And so when you move talk into action, sometimes silence is powerful, because you know what? You're not talking. You're just moving. So whatever it is, be intentional of your goals. Be intentional of what you want to do, and quit revisiting the same old. Because if you're revisiting, that means you haven't grown. And we need to grow. We have to have growth in our life. If we're not growing, we're dying. Always remember, if something is not growing, then we're dying. And so just put it in your mind that you're going to be intentional with whatever you do and decide to do. But we will be an example of what it takes to do these things, and trust and believe it's going to come with the sacrifice. So you'll see. Just keep following us.
Come on, Regina.
Okay, I like that, Regina.
Regina ran through that so fast, so that means that I'm gonna have to come on through with mine. I was like, girl, she gonna stretch that thing on that, and we're gonna be ready, and I'm gonna be like, you missed mine. Okay, Terry, you were getting ready to say something, and then I go into.
No, I wasn't.
No, she wasn't. Go ahead now.
I know, right? I don't even really think we did Dior's last week.
Okay, I'll do mine again, and then that's gonna give you
See,
time.
I was trying to
Okay.
give y'all time, so I did
I
mine.
mine.
Go
Stop
ahead,
playing
Dior.
while Regina was talking and doing her thing. You know, I was
Listen,
writing
y'all,
mine
this is
down. So let me
live
go
and in
and be.
color, okay? This is in real time.
This is real
See?
time.
See you guys?
Oh my
Mine
God.
was, if I'm not mistaken, I was talking about the fact that I am on high blood pressure medication and I have a diabetic problem. So
Oh
what
no,
my
you didn't
goal
say
is,
that
I know,
last
right?
time.
Look, let me go on and help the folks out who dealing with diabetes. So listen, my numbers, my goal is to get my A1C from 6.9 to 5.9. In order to do that, that's the specific. In order to do that, I'm doing three things: measuring what I eat. I mean, writing down what I eat. So I'm taking account of, making sure I know what I'm eating so that as I check my numbers, I can tell whether it's fluctuating or what it's doing. I also want to specifically lose at least 7 pounds per month. That way, as I'm tracking that, that's specific, that's measurable, that's attainable, that's relevant, because I need to, y'all know that if you have issues with your blood pressure and diabetes, typically you can sometimes help it depending on how far gone you are. I don't use insulin, so I'm in a good space as far as that's concerned, but it will help me to eat better and to exercise. So incorporating exercise, which 30 minutes a day, which I know Regina's on that. What is it, Regina? The high intensity, baby. Listen. So as Terry said, be realistic. I'm not out here. Regina, I told her, look, she was out here Sunday with the people, and they was out here doing all this stuff, and I'm like, oh, it would sound good for me to do that, but like Terry said, if I'm going to the mailbox about to fall out, baby, I can't be out here
Baby,
bouncing with Regina.
baby steps,
I
okay?
can't. I got to
Baby
take
steps.
baby steps. Exactly. Let me get on this wall Pilates, or let me do something in the chair. Let me do
Right.
something. So let me walk a little bit. Let me get my heart rate up so it won't bust when I be trying to keep up with Regina. So as I do this, hey boo, how are you? She had to make a pause for that.
Right,
And
right.
then, of course, time. So over the next 3 months, it is essential for me. The next 3 months, because typically they do track your A1C, over a 3 month period. So in 3 months, just checking to make sure that that number has went down. If it has not, then that just means that I need to make sure that I'm watching the carbs, make sure that I'm cutting back on the sugar, making sure my water intake is better. So see, I was playing, I was on top of myself. I just have to remember what I said I did.
Make sure you add some beet juice in that too, because beet
Oh,
juice
come
helps.
on, beet juice. Oh, wait a minute. And can I do honey? Because I know honey be
So you could do a little honey, but you want to do beet juice and gingers and carrot juice, all of that cherry, dark cherry, get that
okay.
in now, okay? So that'll help with lower that A1C. Regina, you know what I'm talking about.
Beetroot, you can get beetroot
Yeah.
powder, so it's
Uh-huh.
tasteless. So just get some beetroot
And
powder,
then
put
mix
it in your
it in.
smoothie,
Come
and
pound me something up, baby, so I can go and pick it up this
Y'all
week and
better
get ready
come
for it.
to get
Listen,
this morning.
it's my go-to. I don't know if y'all don't know Regina honey makes these teas. So the
Mhm.
detox teas, she has a compound that we do to really help, give you energy and all that. So Regina is really my secret weapon to getting my A1C under
That's
control.
right.
And so, but yes, please put me something together so I can take it. And then I'll just be sharing with y'all that I'm sipping on my teas, doing my things. Y'all can be like, girl, I see your stuff coming on down. Look like I can see your clavicle bone. Oh, you coming through.
You better not. That's too much clavicle bone, okay?
The clavicle, baby. The clavicle is the test. When you can see the clavicle bone, baby, you
Girl,
be like,
stop
this
it.
shit is getting thin on y'all. Oh, girl, I see you. You looking good. Y'all remember that and tell me in 3 months, like, I see you. I see what you're doing.
So now we all know we're looking for Angela's clavicle bone, okay?
Right.
I better get with it. Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Dior, did you have anything you wanted to add? I know you did yours last week, but
Right. So I'm gonna do mine again. That is so great. Angela, Regina, I love y'all. Okay, Terry, what we gonna do with them?
honey, I tried to give them time, okay? I tried.
Right.
All right, so guys, mine was a little bit more on the agriculture piece because that's what I'm into, and so I wanted to do a luxury farm to table. So that was my goal, a luxury farm to table, which means specifically for our community, because agriculture through sustainability is like really, really big, and it needs to be big because I'm on this trail of trying to talk about how we could relieve using chemicals and pesticides for our vegetables and fruits and everything, because it also kills the bees. So, I'm on the save the honeybee tip. And so measuring this, we were just out looking at how much land we would need to create this farm to table where people can come get the vegetables if they want it cooked, then if they wanted to walk through what that looks like and how do they need to prepare it, things of that nature, and then determine what is the need and what type of vegetables we want, because we could grow all kind of vegetables, but everybody don't eat all kind of vegetables. So you have to know the seasons of when you're growing the vegetables, when you're growing the fruit, when the bees don't pollinate, all that great stuff. And then looking at the land to put the foundation on. So my time, realistically, we know it could take 8 months to a year to really not necessarily find the land, but to build on the land. So there we go. That's it.
You know what? I love that, Dior, because what you're doing took some research. And so that's a great point. And maybe that's where I'll end today with this, that you have to know what you're planning to do. Just like we talked about the goals being realistic and relevant to you, it might take some research. So if you're going to start a business, you may understand the product that you want to sell, but do you know how to run a business? Virginia talked about that a couple of weeks ago. So part of your planning needs to be, let me figure out how to run this business. Let me figure out how to get my LLC. Let me figure out how to get a business license. Do I need this? Do I need business insurance? What do I need to do? And really putting the time and effort into the research part of it, because we can have these goals and we can do the things we want to do, but sometimes it's not just as easy as just starting a thing. Sometimes it takes some work beforehand, like in Dior's case, it takes some research. You just can't go out there and put some seeds in the ground. You know what I mean? Because and that's how people waste their time and money. But this year we're all about helping you to live well, but also to live smart. You know what I mean? Especially if it's mistakes that we've already made that we can help somebody else, or if there are mistakes that you've made that you want to share. Because if we figured out, well, no, it makes sense for me to do the research beforehand, because I'm not trying to waste time. I understand that I can't just go out and put seeds in the ground and then sprinkle some water on it, and then it's just the carrots and things just gonna pop up. I need to know what season to plant these seeds in. Like you said, I need to know, what people are gonna eat, what needs to be on my table. You need to research what you're doing. Okay, so maybe losing 10 pounds doesn't require research, but maybe it does, because you need to know what types of foods you can eat. Just like they shared the tip about the beet juice and whatever for the A1C. So you need to be able to know the things that are going to help you to achieve your goal. That's where we're going to stop this week. We have 2 more weeks, y'all, of talking about goal setting. And the final Tuesday of this month, we're going to actually, in real time, put our vision board together for you. And we're going to invite you to join us in putting your vision board together for 2024. So you get to look forward to that. Next week, we're going to kind of round out our discussion on SMART goals and talk about some more things with that. But anyway, if all hearts and minds are clear, we're going to move this party along, because we have Reverend Pat coming up right after us, y'all. So you can stay right here and get that morning devotional that you need to get the spiritual part of your day jump started. Okay, so make sure you all are tuning in to Reverend Pat, and make sure you tune in tomorrow, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, for the Empowered Morning Show, y'all, because it's Wealth and Wellness Wednesday. So we know Regina's coming with something amazing for us. So if all hearts and minds are clear, Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for giving us the insight that we need in order to do the things you've called us to do in this year. Lord, we thank you for giving us what we need, the resources, the knowledge, the information to help us to live well and to help us to live smart. We give you all the praise, honor, and glory. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. Go. Have an amazing day. We'll see you tomorrow, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, for the Empowered Morning Show. Y'all have a great day.
Bye.
This year will be my year. This year will be my year. I claim it. I really believe it in my heart. This year will be my year. I claim it. Yeah. I claim it, 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 yeah. I claim it, 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 I claim claim it, I claim it, yeah, yeah. I claim it,